Hello everyone, dear student. I hope you are fine and doing well. So today our class is about application of linear algebra in cryptography. Cryptography is the science to secure your information that no one can steal your information when you are communicating through insecure line of communication. So today we will apply the linear algebra, mainly the matrix of linear transformation to encrypt or decrypt our one original plain text. So let us come up with some background related to start this application that integer arithmetics, modulo classes, and inverse in modulo classes, linear transformation, and matrix of linear transformation will be discussed. And then a set of integers. Dear student, if you can look over here, this is the set of integers that consists of unit positive and negative number and one neutral element 0. And this is binary operation. These are three binary operation. If you can take any two element from this set of integer and operate between these two number from set of integer and operate uh, these two any of these binary operation, you will get another element cn which is also belongs to z set of integer. In that case, dear student, in that case we can say these are what you call the we call it as a so these are just dear student binary operation. And if you can go these are number system. This is given in Venn diagram. The complex number is the most biggest number in number system, and you can look over here. The set of real number, a set of integers, set of rational and set of irrational number are a subset of real number, and these are all subset of complex number. So this is one of the Venn diagram for a real number system. You can understand these real number system through this Venn diagram very easily. So remainder theorem or integer division. If you have two numbers, say a and n, if you that is a is divided by n, so it can be written as like this one. A can be written as q time n plus r, where r is remainder. Let us understand is what does remainder theorem means. If you have seven biscuits and if you divided it by two, that is a is divided by n. In that case, the you will get three, and the remainder is one. Three. It means if you divide seven into two packets, then you in each packet you will have three biscuits, and one biscuit will be remain aside. In that case, 7 is divided by 9 equals to 3 with remainder 1. So it can be written as 7 is dividend and 2 is divisor and 3 is quotient and 1 is remainder. It can be written as 7 is equal to 2 into 3 plus 1. In that case, dear student, in previous theorem, if you can go back in slide 5, like this this here, I just elaborate this theorem with the help of one very simple example. So this is another example that a is 25 and is 11. We find that q is 25 and r is 2. In that case, if you divide 25 by 11, the q will be 23 and remainder is 2. Dear student, if you can say this one what does congruent modulo n means? If you have two numbers, say a is congruent to y, this is not equality, this is congruent in mod n. Then you can say 12 is congruent to 24 modulo 12, because if you can look over here, the If you divide 12 by 12, the remainder is 0, and if you divide 24 by 12, the remainder is also 0. In that case, these two are congruent, because they share one characteristics. If you divide these two numbers by 12, they both have same remainder. Same is the case over here. If you can divide 11 by 10, the remainder will be 1. If you divide 21 by 10, the remainder is also 1. So 11 is congruent to 12, 21. So this is one of the definition. If be a positive and be any positive number for xy belongs to set of integer, we can say x is congruent to y mod n if and only if, and divide the difference of x and y, or it can be done x is congruent to y mod n. In that case, we can say x is equal to y plus n cube. So, dear student, let us elaborate this with the uh, what does these modulo classes did with any set. So let us introduce the idea of partition. Partition of a set A or finite or infinite set is a collection of non-empty mutually disjoint subset whose union is A. The diagram below illustrates the partition of a set A by the subset A1, A2, or 2, A6. That is, if you can take a intersection of all these AIs, then it will be a phi. And then if you can take its union, then it will generate the whole set A. So in that case, we can say these are the partition sets of the bigger set A. Okay, dear student, the equivalence class for the congruent modulo n form a partition of set Z, set of integer. That is, they separate Z into a mutually disjoint subset. These subsets are called congruence classes or residue classes. If you have a set of integer, and if you have to partition the above set into a two equal parts disjoint congruent classes, namely zero class and one class, in that case, in zero class, all those number which are divisible by 2, whose remainder is 0, it will be placed in zero class. In one class, all those number, if you divided it by 2, the remainder is 1. In that case, it will be in one class. If you can see over here, our daily time that is represented in clock is under modulo 12. If you can look over here, this is start from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to 11. Then this is 12, this is 13, then 13, 14, and same is the case, it will be um, rotate, and the 24 hours will be placed over here in this clock. So this is one of the practical application of modulo classes or residue classes. So if you can look over here, uh, these are zero class and one class. If you can take the, as I told you in my previous slide, the modulo class is partitioning the set of integer. If you can take the union of this zero class and one class, it will give you the whole set of integer. And if you can take its intersection, it will give you a phi. In that case, you can say this is a what you call the characteristics of a partition. In that case, we can say these modulo classes partition the set of integer, and we call it Z2 as 0, 1. In Z3, there are three classes: 0, 1, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2. See, 0 classes consist of all those number which is completely divisible by 3, and 1, it is the class of the numbers from set of integer whose remainder is 1 after dividing by 3. 2, the 2 class. It is these are the numbers. If you divided it by 3, was remainder is what you call 2. In that case, Z3 can be written 0, 1, 2 sometime, or it can be written as a 0, 1, 2 like the here. So 3 is 0, 1, 2, 1, 2. In that case, dear students, residual class modulo n can be written 0, 1, 2 up to n minus 1, or Z4 is 0, 1, 2, 3, Z5 is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and Z10 is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to 9. So, dear student, additive inverse in modular class, if you can add two number which is congruent to 0 mod n, in that case, these A and B are additive inverse of each other under mod n. If you can look over here, the sixth pair of additive inverse in Z10, if you add 0 into 0, it will be congruent to 0 mod 10. If you add 1 and 9, you will get 10, and 10 is divided by 10, the remainder will be 0. In that case, 1 plus 9 is congruent to 0 mod 10. 2 plus 8, it is 10. If you divided it by 10, uh, I mean to say in congruent classes, if you divide, add two numbers, then you will have to, after adding, if you get any number, then that number is again divided by that modulo. Say in that case, our modulo is 10, so you have to divide it by 10. If you get 0, uh, after adding two numbers like in this pair, if you get 0, it means both these numbers are additive inverse of each other. 3 plus 7, 10. If divided by 10, the remainder is 0. So 4 plus 6, the 10, 10 you will get 10, and divide 10 by 10, you will get 0. And 5 plus 5, in that case, these pair, the 0 is inverse, additive inverse of 0 is 0, additive inverse of 1 is 9, additive inverse of 2 is 8, additive inverse of 3 is 7, additive inverse of 5 is 6, and additive inverse of 5 is 5. So multiplicative inverse. In modular class, if you multiply two numbers and they give you the result which is congruent to 1 mod n. Mod n, I mean to say, if you get the result of these two number after multiplying this must be divided by n. The right its remainder. If the remainder is 1, in that case A and B are inverse of each other. In that case, the most powerful way to calculate the multiplicative inverse of any element in any modulo class is you have to calculate its GCD first. So GCD of 10 and 8 is 2. So if the GCD of any number in any modulo is 1, then in that case the inverse will be exist. If the GCD of any number, say 8, with this modulo 10 is not 1, in that case the multiplicative inverse will never be exist. So in that case, GCD of 10, this is modulo class 10, with 8, this is the element of Z10, is 2. In that case, this number has no multiplicative inverse. So in that, find all the multiplicative inverses in Z10. The GCD of 1 with 10 is 1, so it has multiplicative inverse. So GCD of 3 with 10, it has multiplicative inverse. So if you can multiply 3 with 7, you will get 21, and divide 21 by 10, you will get 1. So inverse of 3 is 7. Similarly, inverse of 9 is 9. The numbers 0, 2, 4, 5, 6, and the 8 do not have multiplicative inverses because the GCD of all these numbers with Z10 is not 1. In that case, these are not relatively prime to Z10. So dear student, a unit element of integer modulo and unit element of integer modulo, all those elements which are belongs to Z and uh, uh, um, except 0 was GCD with n a GCD of this element with n modulo class is 1. In that case, we can say these are unit element. And by the way, unit element are all those elements whose inverse under modulo Zn exists. Z26012 up to 25 and Z26/0 is discarding 0 because multiplicative inverse of 0 does not exist. This is 1, 2, 3, and 25. Unit element of Z26 that satisfy this property. I write all those elements whose GCD with 26 is 1. In that we have 12 elements. So modular inverse of all these element are also belong from these set. So inverse of 1 with 1, 1, 3, inverse of 3 in under mod 26 is 9 because if you can multiply 3 with 9, 3 into 9, 27, and 27 mod 26. It means 27, if you divide 27 by 26, you will get remainder 1. So in that case, 3 into 9 equal to 20, congruent to 27, and after dividing it by 26, you will get 1. So in that case, dear student, you can say 3 is inverse of 9. And 5 into 21 is 105, and if you divided it by 26, you will get 1. In that case, inverse of 5 is 21. So let us revisit some linear transformation. So T is a linear transformation from Rn to Rn. So in that case, T of x is to a into x. The x is belongs on Rn, then x is can be written as n1 n cross 1 column vector. The each element is belongs from R because the individual element is element of real number, but as a whole, this element is the element of Rn. So similarly, if I can say this is just ground set. This R is just a ground set from where the individual element is belonging from. From here, from this concept, I just generalize these are transformations Z26, Z26R, N to Z26N. T of x is equal to AX mod 26. As x as a column vector is an element of this, then it can be done x1, x2, x2 up to xn and class 1 column vector. But individual element, this individual element is belong to some Z26. So crypto system. Crypto system is a five tuple PCKED where the condition are satisfied. P is a set of possible plain text means is the original message. C is the finite set of possible cipher or encrypted messages. K is the key space of finite set of possible keys. For each key, exists a rule, encryption rule that map original plain text into a cipher text, and there is a decryption function that map set of cipher text into a plain text as a function. And the composition of encryption and decryption give you the X, which is again set of plain text. So these are correspondence between letter and Z26. A is map on 0, B is map on 1, C is map on 2, D is map on 3. It is a one-to-one correspondence between set of letter and set of integer modulo 26. So Z is map on 25. Encryption function. So I take this encryption function as a transformation Z26(2) to Z26(2). E of x is a into x mod 26. That is x belongs to Z26. That is it can be done 2 cross 1 column vector. And the encryption function I need the inverse of that matrix, and y is the basically the output that is the output of this function. I call it y. So I multiply A inverse with the output of this function, then I will get back my original message. So modular inverse matrices. So dear student, you can take any matrix of n cross n. I generally write it over here as a general n from n to n, n cross n matrix. If you can place over here 2, it means you in place of n you just put n is equal to 2 and n is in that case the matrix or transformation will be 2 by 2. But keep one thing in your mind that you cannot take every matrix from Z to 26 to Z2. You can just only take all only those matrices whose GCD was GCD of determinant with 26 is 1. In that case, the inverse of the matrices under modulo class 26 will exist. If you take any other determinant whose GCD with 26 is not 1, then in that case, you just encrypt your any plain text, but you cannot decrypt your message correctly. So these are some steps. So let us take one matrix A, which is 2, 3, 3, 1. The element of these are will be belonging from Z26. So if you can look over here, the determinant is 5. The GCD of 5 with 26 is 1. So this matrix is quite good to use it for encryption as well as decryption. So how to find its inverse? I just calculate its inverse of 5 under mod 5 is 21. So I just is determined at 5. The I can write it. So why I can put 21 over here, because 5 into 21 is congruent to 1 mod 26. So 21 is congruent to 1 over 5. So 21 is congruent to 1 over 5 under mod 26. So while calculating the inverse matrix under mod 26, I just 1 over 5, which is determinant, and I just take adjoint of A, and the here the determinant is 1 over determinant is 1 over determinant means 1 over 5, which is a fraction, or so we have to discard the fraction and replace 1 over 5 with 21. So I place 21 and just I multiply adjoint of A with this 21. So so after if there is a negative, so you have to add 26 till you get a positive number. So and then divide each number which is greater than 26 and calculate place its remainder. So ultimately we will get this as an inverse matrix. So the modular inverse of this will be modular inverse of this matrix given over here. So this matrix will be used in the procedure of decryption. So dear student, I have message hello world. So hello world, I means to say my encryption is from Z26.2 to Z26.2. So I have to uh, place the whole world as a 2 cross column vector because of this 2. So my each and every this I have divided this original message which message to be encrypted in 2 class 1 column vector. If there is a encryption function Z26.3 to Z26.3, so in that case I have to divide this whole message in every um, in the piece of the message, this message, original message converted into a 3 cross 1 column vector, means to say each block is consist of 3 elements, but my transformation trend is from Z to 26 to Z to 26. So my each block is consists of 2 elements, and it can be written as a 2 cross 1 column vector. Here you can see over here. H is map on 7, E is map on 4. Similarly, L is map on 11 and D is map on 3. So I just multiply my matrix A with this corresponding element of Z26, mapping of letter to element of Z26. So in the, if you can look over here, my encryption function A into X. So I multiply each column vector with the matrix A. This is matrix A, and I'll after get multiplying this, I get another column vector of 2 class 1 vector of each these of the uh, column vector of original message. Then I apply mod. If the element is greater than 26, then I write its remainder. In that case, look over here. So these are my corresponding encrypted message. These are the encrypted message will be 18 is map on S, L, 11 is map on L. In that case, the hello world is encrypted to SLHCY80GZT. In that case, dear student, if you can look over here, the all the messages not easily readable. What does this mean? But the actual message is hello world. So we have to decrypt this all these in order to get back our original text. So the decryption function is this decryption function from Z26.2 to Z26.2, dy is equal to a inverse y. In that case, dear student, we have to multiply this vector with inverse SL1811 with inverse of matrix A. So in that case, if we can look over here, this is the inverse matrix of A. So we have multiply this and we'll get this corresponding column vector corresponding to this column vector of encrypted message. So after taking its mod, it means to say dividing the element which is greater than 26 and put its remainder. So in that case, this is 7, 4, 11, 11. That's 14, 22, 11, 14, 17, 11, and 3. In that case, if you can see, 7 is mapped on H, 4 is mapped on E, and that's 11, 11 is mapped LL, and then 14, 12, 22 is mapped OW. In that case, we can see the SLHZYAT GZT is uh, decrypted to this original word, which is hello world. This is our plain text, and we call it uh, sometime we call it as the original message. Dear student, this is one of the assignment for you, and you have to have submitted in pair of two students that use linear transformation where m is greater than n or n is greater than m for inscription and decryption of message meet at 7. Under what condition we can use such matrix of transformation for encoding and decoding the secret messages? Thank you all, and please stay at home. May Allah bless you all.